Welcome to my professional development entitled Your Class and the Kindle. My name is Nicole Croft, and I will be giving you a little bit of information about the Kindle, and then we'll be working through some things so that you could become more familiar with this piece of technology. Okay, so the purpose of this professional development session is to familiarize you, which are teachers, with the Kindle, its features, and how they can be incorporated into your classroom. Kindles and other e-readers are becoming very prominent in schools. They also increase student motivation and provide various tools that can act as supports for our struggling readers. With this in mind, teachers and other educational professionals should be trained to utilize this technology in order to get more of a use out of them. So that's why you're here. We'll absolutely be going, like I said, through these features and working through these features so that you can feel more comfortable with them. Okay, so knowing why you're here, I would also like to know a little bit about our audience. Do any of you have some experience with the Kindle? And if you do have experience, let me know at what level you feel comfortable using this piece of technology. Anyone? Oh, yes. Say your name and tell me about your experience.
My name's Liz, and personally I do not own a Kindle, but I've seen some of my students with Kindles, and I'm fine with them using the Kindles in the classroom. I think it's a great tool to have, especially when it's silent reading, when they're reading just for themselves. I feel like it could be used with a whole group as long as everybody had one, but again, then you have to provide for it, or on multiple devices. So I think it's a good idea of using the e-readers in the classroom, and I definitely think there's opportunities there to continue with that and let it grow.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So hopefully I'll be able to give you some more information that will make you feel comfortable using the Kindle outside of just silent reading and in those small group experiences, because there are some applications that can be used for that. So thank you for your input. The schools are incorporating the Kindle Fire into the classroom. So I'm going to show you, this is the top where my camera is. It has a front camera. It does not have a back camera. However, it does have that front camera that you can use. You can set up. I have a case in the other room that allows you to set it up so the students could record themselves. The Kindle has a microphone or headphone jack. It has the volume button on the side, a large speaker on the back. It also has the power or the lock button on the side, and then it's got two jacks, one for the charger and one so that you could plug the Kindle up to another device. So you begin when you turn on the Kindle. My Kindle's already on. You hold the side button and you turn it on, and then my Kindle's on and you can swipe it. I personally have a password on my Kindle. However, I would not suggest using a password unless each child has their own individual Kindle, or if it's your personal Kindle. This specifically because it gets troublesome with students trying to remember their passwords. But I have a password, and if this were your personal one, you would type in your password and hit OK. Now, when you first go on your home screen, you can see the apps that you've used most recently. Okay. You can also go to the top. You can search. So I may want to search Brain Pop, and my keyboard comes up when I hit the search bar, and I see Brain Pop in apps, and I also see books and games that also start with BR. Okay. Now I will hit the back button to get back where I want to go. Some of this takes a little bit of getting used to. A lot of our phones and other devices like the iPad have a home button that you push. The Kindle is all touchscreen, so there is no button for you to push, but once you kind of get in the swing of using this device, you will become more familiar with it, and it will get easier. So don't worry about it being all touchscreen. You can go to Shop, and that's where you can take the time to download things. Now, if you're using a school device, you may not be able to download books and other activities without an administration password. But for other In some cases you may be able to, but that shop key is for you to shop for books, videos, music, etc. Okay, we also have our game app. I was able to find several educational games. When you click on the game tab, it will show you games on your device. You can hit store, and that will take you to the store, and it comes up with apps, and then the store will load. The Wi-Fi might be a little slow in our building, but the store comes up, and so you can search for free games. I actually found many educational games that are free for children, so feel free to browse those and utilize the games and the apps that are free for students so that they can have fun. And you don't just have to use books on the Kindle. So then we're going to go back. I'm hitting the back button to get back, or you can simply hit the home button where it's the shape of a little house. We have our apps. It shows you again apps on your device, apps on the cloud, which when you connect it to your computer, you can access them anywhere. And then you can hit the store to get to more apps. You can hit books, music, videos, newsstand, audiobooks, web, photos, documents, and offers. So some features that the Kindle Fire has compared to some of the other ones. The Kindle Fire is a newer version. I've actually had this Kindle Fire for about 2 or 3 years now. So they have come out with newer versions. There is an HD one. I do not believe this is the Kindle Fire HD. Kindle Fire is made by Amazon. Some of the features and some of the apps that are available on the Kindle Fire are also available on the iPad. So whether you're using an iPad or a Kindle, they're both very good resources to use and technological tools to use. There's an e-reader for both books and periodicals. There are also audiobooks available on the Kindle. There's a music player, so when I go under music, I can tap and see the music that I have added. I don't have any music right now on my Kindle, but you can add songs. There's a video player that you can add, so you can access your videos under videos. Again, I don't have any videos right now, but you can download videos if you would like to. So that would be a good opportunity to download some videos for your students to use if you plan on using this as a center or at a center. There's a contacts app for you to utilize. There's also a document reader for Word, PDF, RTF, and HTML. Those format files are supported on the Kindle Fire. When you go to Docs, you can access your documents that are added on the device. I hit device. I do not have any documents, but I have used my Kindle to open up documents. So that feature is available for you on this piece of technology. The Kindle Fire uses, I'm going to hit my home screen to go back. This Kindle Fire uses what is called the Silk app. Okay, that is for your web browser. So you hit on the web browser, and you can search. You can just search in the search bar, or in the bar you can hit, you can put in a web address. Okay, and it keeps everything just like a regular web browser would. Okay. There's also a gallery in which you can view and make a few edits, rotate, crop. And I had to download on mine. I had to download a photo taking app. However, you can use a timer cam, a camcorder, personal videos, and all of those things. So that feature can actually be used to allow students to record themselves reading. You could allow students to use, you could put the Kindle and a Reader's Theater script at the center and allow students to read through it once and act it out. And then go back and record themselves to build fluency. So this camera app could be utilized in multiple ways, but it's there. And again, the camera is the front-facing camera, not a back-facing camera. So you would have to have some type of device to stand up the Kindle, or you could simply stack a few books and set it up for the students to use. Email is available on the Kindle. My email is not set up on this Kindle, but that option is available. Okay, So I'm going to show you some of the books that I have, and I'll show you how to download them as well. So I'm going to hit books at that top carousel, and I have a few books on here already, but I'm going to either pick from the books that I already have, so you could pre-download books, or you could go to the store and you can search. Again, there are a lot of free children's books available, so it's just a matter of searching. A lot of the books are also 99 cents, so you can find them at a discounted price, but depending on whether your school has funding for that, you can use that as well. Okay. You can also, we're going to go back and hit our back button in our home screen. You can also download apps. And again, your apps are here. I have a few educational apps to use. Some of those are Brain Pop. We have Boggle or Scrabble that can be used for word recognition. And then we also have Reading Rainbow, the app. So that has a variety of videos and books that students can read on that application. And we finally have a phonics app. Some of those other apps are Adobe Reader, so that allows you to read PDFs, and I have a few other miscellaneous apps on here. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and look at some of the features that you can use when you're working with your students using the Kindle, and then we're going to get into using the Kindle in a lesson. So let's go to a book, and I'm going to show you some of the features that the Kindle provides when you are using books. So the number one feature that is extremely helpful when using the Kindle with your students is the one-click definition feature. And that is when you click on a word and hold it, it will give you the definition. I clicked on for, and it says in support of or in favor of a person or policy. So you can do that, and then you also have the ability to highlight that word. You also have the ability to go, when you hit more, you can search in book, and it will give you all of the times that for is used. So when you're using that feature, I would definitely recommend using that feature with students who need to practice sight words. So you may send them on a hunt to point out how often some of the sight words you're using are represented in a book. Okay, and one of the other features that we have is the text-to-speech. So you can also have your Kindle read to you.
Mom has a lollipop or a piece of chocolate.
Okay, so that's just a little preview of the book. Honestly, you would have to explain to your students that the text-to-speech feature is not a representation of how you should read, but it is useful for students who struggle with certain words. The text-to-speech feature will allow students to hear the words or the sentence, okay? There's also, when you hit the capital A, lowercase a setting, there is also a font size option where you can increase the font size. You can increase the line spacing. These are helpful for students who have visual issues and they struggle reading because of those visual issues. So you can make the font bigger for them. You can spread it out so that it's not so cluttered for some students. You can change the margins. You can change the color of the text. So you can change it to black with white text. That may also be helpful for students with visual issues. You can change the font. And then when you hit more option, you can find popular highlights, and you can either turn off or on the text-to-speech feature. And that is all in the capital A, lowercase a setting, so the letter setting. Then you can hit go to. And that goes to the page or location of a certain place in the text. You can sync to the furthest page you've read, so you can, if you use a different device, you can click that button and it'll take you to the furthest page that you read on another device. And it shows you different parts, and it also gives you a little about me for the author, and it gives you her pictures. So that could be helpful, especially when teaching children to recognize each part of the book. So I hit the back button. We're going to first look at some of the apps that I have downloaded that I think are helpful. For our younger children, there's an app called Phonics Island. This is Phonics Island Lite. That is the free option, but it's just as handy.
To learn.
So this is the opening screen to learn.
Learn. Welcome to Phonics Island. Let's have fun learning letter sounds on this island full of adventure.
Okay, so this is Phonics Island. It works with letter sounds, as it said. I'm going to just click on, just to show you, I'm going to click on A to Z.
I am Abby the monkey, and this is my plane. Oh, ouch.
Abby the monkey does an introduction that kids may find enjoyable.
We're going for a landing.
So they land on an island,
Guys, I know this.
and you try to learn some of the letters that Abby the monkey is talking about. So I skipped ahead. You can skip the intro for children who've played this several times. But basically,
Trace this.
the student is going to trace the letter that goes with the animal. So this is a snake, and it says, trace this. It tells the letter, and you have to follow the dots and connect it at the X.
Snake.
Now, it
Trace
shows
this
you
letter.
the direction. I'm going to turn this down for you guys. It shows you the direction in which you're supposed to do it. And if you try to do it the opposite way, you see that it does not let you. So you start and you trace the way it's asking you to trace. Again, this is good for your early learners. And M for mouse, trace this. So that's a good game that you can use for some of your early learners, and I think that a lot of them will find it quite enjoyable. And we're going to look at one of the last apps I'm featuring in this professional development. Oh, well, there's two more apps. One would be the Sight Word app. This app has all of the adult sight words based on grade level. So it's a Sight Words Coach app, and I'm going to hit grade 3. What this does is it says a word, and this is asking for carry. I hit this button. It says the word as many times as you want, and then you have to pick the word, the sight word that goes with it. And when you get it right. So you can turn this up and you can hear. Oh, we're going to turn it up with our hands. And then so you press the button. Bring. So I have show, bring, carry, done, and I hit bring, and it gives me a nice little cupcake. So you can go through that game as well with students who need to do their sight words, and that goes through various grades with the adult sight words. The last app I'm going to show you is Brain Pop. And Brain Pop has, this is the Brain Pop video of the day app. So you can have fun using the Brain Pop video of the day app every day with your students. That can be an exciting activity you could do. Or you can also hit reading and writing. Without a free login, there are some things you can't access, but you can go up to reading skills and reading nonfiction and maybe free movies. And you go down, and we're going to go to reading, and you can access free movies about reading. This video is now. So again, this is these apps can be used during a center time. That's what I would definitely use them for. There are some apps such as like the Show Me app that's also available on iPads that you can download that allows, it's basically a notepad with different colors so that students can show you different things if you're working in a small group, or even if your school provides a Kindle for each student. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you one way that you could actually use the Kindle in your classroom. Like I've said before, you can use the apps during a center time, so you might put the Kindle at a center and you might put it to it on an app, and then all the students would have to do is unlock the Kindle app because it will lock after a while unless you change the settings. And so you could set it on a table and put it on a certain activity that you want the students to do, and they can just continue to refresh it on the app as they cycle through the centers. In my case, I'm going to open the book, The Strange Friend. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it, and one way I might use this is, say for instance, our sight words are, let's make our sight words is and day. So I want my students to recognize is and day. And so whenever I read this, I'm going to ask you, this is a small group activity, mind you. And so whenever I read this with my small group, I'm going to have them raise their hand when they hear our sight words is or day. A sight word which could be is or day. And then I'm going to let some of the students highlight them as we go along. So you listen, raise your hand. It's Friday again, over woodland and hill, and our dear forest friends can hardly keep still. For this is their fun day, the day they just play. Now, how many sight words did we hear? I see fingers going up. I see 3. Let's see, Friday, if you're counting Friday, that's 1. And our dear forest friends can hardly keep still. For this is, that's 2 sight words, the day, or their fun day, and the day they just play. So that's 4. So we see 4 sight words. And then I might go around and say, could you highlight a sight word? So I see Liz is over here. I know you all can't see exactly from here, but Liz has highlighted day. Could you highlight a sight word? Very good. And she highlighted is. So then, we might continue to do that. What I could also do is send my students throughout the book to use some of the tools to search. I may also have some of the students in a small group to read a word, and if they do not know a word, they might see perfectly, and they don't know that word. So we're going to hit play.
This morning our friends are up early and bright to see that the day starts out perfectly right.
Oh,
From the
okay.
treehouse. The strange.
Sorry. Okay, so we got to that page and we didn't recognize this word, but we see now that it's perfectly. And someone says, where have we heard perfectly before? So we might highlight perfectly. We would hold it, and we might highlight perfectly and find the definition, and then we can highlight it with a different color so that we remember that that's one of our new words and we can add it to our list. So again, that's just a brief lesson that you could use, or those are some brief ways that you can incorporate it. Again, students can read on their own, one-on-one, anything like that. But it has many apps, especially the note-taking app. That'll come in handy with your older students who want to take notes in their book. And with your younger students, they may just want to underline. They may just want to highlight or find the meaning of words. Or when they don't know a word, they might just want to read it. So those are available. So now I'm going to give you time to practice, and then after you practice with the app, I'm just going to give you a bit of time to explore the app. And once you've practiced with some of the apps and some of the features on it, and I'm going to give you a chance to work through it. Once you feel as though you've worked through it to where you feel a little bit more comfortable, we'll have a little wrap up and discussion, okay? So I'll give you a few minutes. I'll put the thing for you here, and I'll give you a few minutes to explore.
Friend. What's this word? Oh, cool. I like when I highlight it or press on the word, I can highlight it as different colors.
And it even tells you the definition.
Let's see what else it does.
This morning our friends are up early and bright
Sounds like my
to
GPS.
see that the day starts.
Oh, you can even add notes on the page.
You guys can also, I'm just going to step in and give you a little bit of instruction. We're going to hit the back button. I'd like you guys to also take a moment and look at some of the apps. And could you show me how to get to the apps, possibly?
You can press that.
Right, so there's the apps on the carousel. And then just pick a children's app that you would like to work with, so then you can maybe get used to.
Brain Pop Jr., I like that one.
So we clicked on Brain Pop Jr. You've got the Kindle upside down. No problem. Sometimes it's turned, sometimes it doesn't. So again, this is the one that I showed you guys earlier, and it's movie of the week. Because we don't have a subscription, we can only go to like play movie, and that'll show you that movie. Okay, so then you can skip that movie if you want, and you can go back. So just browse a little bit more, and I'm gonna work over here in this corner with the other group. So just continue to browse. Remember the home button's there and the search bar is there. How are you guys doing over here? Good.
What else should we look at? Reading Rainbow.
I would use this Kindle in my classroom because obviously there are books on here, which is kind of a different medium for kids to use. Looks like there are some sight words and phonics games, which are definitely useful. Could use this in a center, definitely. There's also a camera app, which could be cool, and taking a bunch of pictures and having kids make their own stories. Also, I see in here there's the Twitter app, and that could be useful for a classroom Twitter. I've seen set up in some places so that parents can tune in and kind of see that as well. So I think there's some great games that can help with reading, with math. I could see there's also some good books on here too, and the graphics are really good as well. I have an iPad as well, and between using the iPad and the Kindle, I really like the Kindle for the literacy aspect. There are some games on there, which is nice, but I like the newsstand and audiobooks and how I guess reader-oriented the Kindle is versus the iPad. Now, the iPad, it does have a lot more like user-friendly apps, and I'm more familiar with it. However, I think that kids would probably know to get on the games more so than the books, and it's a little harder to get to, whereas I just have a tab right here that just says books, and I have all my books right here. So I think that all in all, I would like this for reading purposes better than the iPad, because the iPad can do a lot more. I feel like it more user friendly, but I think that kids see an iPad and they think games at times. So using the Kindle, it's a different device, but it's similarly used, so you can really target reading.
So I want to thank you for watching this professional development video. We covered the features that the Kindle provides. We also talked about the features that are especially helpful for teachers. I demonstrated quickly how I might use it in a classroom, and then some teachers explored the Kindles and demonstrated how they could possibly use it. And at the end, one of our teacher candidates discussed how she might use it and her perceptions of the Kindle compared to the iPad. Thank you again for listening.